Hi, my name is Ashley Watt, and this is my Module 14 case study over the internet usage violations. So when we look at the problem and the issues that arose, we know that Miss Tate is a fairly new teacher at the school. She's got a pretty rigorous curriculum, and she hasn't been willing to bend any on that, and so it's kind of upset some kids and some parents about what their grades could be and how their GPA is affected. And so she was emailed after a weekend, and it was a URL to a Facebook page. This Facebook page was about her, derogatory information stated about her, and then even some threatening possible messages. She contacted her boss, who then kind of set some other things rolling after that. What do we need to know about this before we can proceed and make other decisions? We need to try to figure out who created this page, who is a part of the page and has interacted on it. Can it be taken down? Do interactions on this page happen during school time, especially because there might be some legalities if all of this is happening off of school property, of how to get and figure out who put this together. And is this a credible threat that she is facing? She's really upset that somebody kind of made hints to if she should be around or not. An action plan that I would set in place as a business leader is number one, working with the technology department to determine if the group or the Facebook group, if their interactions in the page can be traced. So there are some different ways. I kind of discuss it with my technology department, and there are some ways to kind of trace back. I would bet that not everybody that interacted on that page, whether they liked something, posted something, they probably didn't all encrypt themselves. So you could at least approach those students and say, hey, I know that you like this or that you commented on this, and question everybody that you can that was involved. And number two is make sure you question a large band of students. So you have solid evidence when you move forward with whatever punishment or consequences are going to happen afterwards. Need to contact Facebook and have the page removed or have it flagged that it is, defamatory in nature. After assessing everything above, the administration has to work with the students involved, the parents, and decide on, and the teacher as well, Miss Tate, to decide on redirection and possible punishment for these students. To the issue resolution, you should always make no assumptions. I don't, and I'll probably say this later too, but I really don't like the fact that Miss Tate right off, he had questioned her, Dr. Smith questioned her about, have you had any run-ins with students? Do you think you know who it could be? And she came up with the name of a student, and I know it was him. Well, you can't make assumptions that it was that kid. So you could probably start by questioning him and his group of friends, like Dr. Smith concluded, but moving forward, you can't make assumptions it was this kid just because he might be a little ornery in class. You got to find actual evidence. Question everyone that's involved, and you have to work with the students, the parents, and Miss Tate. So everybody has to be involved to come to a conclusion of this. Looking at this from the professional ethics standpoint, our standard 5 is an educational leader at the building level applies knowledge that promotes the success of every student by acting with integrity, fairness, and in an ethical manner. So we're going to take a look at that a little bit further. We're going to take it apart piece by piece and how Dr. Smith did that and has done that moving forward. So integrity is defined as the quality of being honest and having strong moral principles and moral uprightness. Fairness is being impartial and just treatment or behavior without favoritism or discrimination. And ethical is relating to moral principles or the branch of knowledge dealing with these. Integrity, I think 3 examples that Dr. Smith acted with integrity. He has previously discussed ways to reduce stress and increase positive interactions with students with Miss Tate. He has tried to set out an action plan for her, even though in the case study it said that she didn't really take a whole lot of his advice. He has made those steps and said, okay, Miss Tate, we've got to make this environment a better learning place for these students. When he talks with Miss Tate on the phone, he remains calm and tries to help her from overreacting. He doesn't want her to call the cops or make it a legal thing. Especially, he took an opportunity himself to look at it and did not feel that it was threatening enough for her to call the cops. And right away he developed a plan immediately that said, we will get together and work on this, and he told her about it. So she feels, I think, that he's going to do something about it moving forward. In fairness, he believes it's a prank. He does not jump to conclusions. If he was to automatically call the cops, that could really escalate things quickly for these students. Promises to talk to multiple parties. So again, Miss Tate brought up this singled out kind of a student, and just because she's had run-ins with him, assumes he's the one that did it, and you really cannot do this in this case. He, has made a plan to work, hopefully forward, with students' parents and Miss Tate to find a resolution to this. Ethically, he asked to see the email and the URL page, so he saw these things. Again, he's going to question multiple students, and he starts his documentation immediately. He takes screenshots of these things because they can easily disappear. As soon as he starts questioning kids, their word of mouth's probably going to get around, and that page could very easily disappear. So right away, he's taking screenshots of this information to try and figure out who it is. As we reflect about this, some of my thoughts and feelings, I appreciate Dr. Smith for first of all, trying to approach Miss Tate about this beforehand, keeping her calm in the middle of it, and then you can tell by the description, the case study, he is an administrator that has everybody's best interest at mind. Issues that are unresolved, it may be really hard to figure out exactly who did this, especially if the kids get together and are able to, keep their mouth shut about maybe who started it. They may not be able to completely punish or give consequences to certain students. And that's sad in a way because, I think Miss Tate already has some assumptions made about students, so hopefully she can move forward and move past this as well.